In this video, we will continue talking about measures of position, particularly percentiles. So percentiles divide data into hundreds, 100 equal parts. So what happens is they separate the lowest p% and the highest 1 minus p%. So for example, if a person is in the 89th percentile, that places them above 89% of the people, but below 1 minus 89, or 11% of the people. And therefore, of course, that adds up to 100%. And so, if you look at percentiles again, that adds up to a total of 100. And we're dividing the entire data up into 100 different little pieces. And so when we talk about the percentile, we're looking at how far above the rest are they and everything. So the procedure for computing percentiles, first we still have to arrange the data in increasing order from the least to the greatest. And then if n is the value, number of values, the pth percentile can be computed. Remember that L is our location. What we're going to do is we're going to put p divided by 100 times n. Basically, we're going to look at that percentage and multiply it by our n. So if we're talking about the 89th percentile, we're going to take 89 divided by 100 and multiply it by n. So this would become 0.89. This is the same type of process that we would use for quartiles. We're just using it for percentiles instead. And then if L is a whole number, we take the average of the two numbers in positions L and L plus 1. If L is not a whole number, we round up to the next whole number, and the percentile is the number in this position, the rounded up position. So let's look at an example, and we will look at average weekly earnings. The average weekly earnings in dollars for various industries are listed below. We want to compute the 60th percentile of this data. Now notice we don't have 100 numbers, but we can still compute the percentiles. And here are our numbers. And so the first thing that we have to do is arrange them in order from the least to the greatest. And so whenever I arrange these in order, I'm going to get 228, 489, 524, 597, 623, 659, 736, 777, and 804. So these are my values placed in order. Now if I count this up, that means that I have that n is equal to 9. I have 9 different values here. And I want to find the 60th percentile. So that means that p is equal to 60. So I need to find that location. So I'm going to do 60 divided by 100 times my 9, because that's how many numbers I have. So 60 divided by 100 is 0.60. And then I'm going to multiply that by 9. So I'm going to get L is equal to 5.4. Since this is not a whole number, I need to round up. And that means that it's going to be in the 6th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position. So an industry earning $659 weekly is in the 60th percentile. Okay. Well, sometimes we're not given the percentile. Maybe we want to find the percentile based on our data. So how we do that is we first arrange the data in increasing order, like we always do, and then we compute the following. Our percentile is equal to 100 times the number of values below X, meaning how many values are below what we're looking for, plus 0.5, divided by our N, or the number of values in the data set. Okay? And we always want to round to a whole number. And we do this rounding normally. So if it's below 5, we round down. If it's above 5, we round up. Okay? So let's look at an example. We're going to look at hurricane damage. And here, the data represent the values in billions of dollars of damage of 11 hurricanes. Hurricane Andrew caused nearly $2.6 billion in damages. What percentile does this correspond to? So we're wanting to know what percentile the $2.6 billion corresponds to. The first thing we want to do is we want to look at our data, and we want to put it in order. Well, if we look at it, this particular time, it's already in order. Okay? So we want to look and we say, okay, here is 2.6. Now, if I'm looking at it, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers below, and there are a total of 11 numbers. So my percentile that I want to find is going to equal 100 times the number below, which is 6, plus 0.5, divided by 11, that's my total number. So I get 100 times 6.5 divided by 11. I do that math out, and I get 59.0909. And I want to round to the nearest whole number. And remember, I do this rounding normally. So this one becomes the 59th percentile. So Hurricane Andrew corresponds to the 59th percentile. Means that 59% of the data is less than 2.6 billion, and 41% is more than the 2.6 billion. Okay, I want you to try some of the practice on percentiles, and then let me know if you have any questions.